Hello Flosstube Friends. I have a very special video for you today. I have decided to record an unboxing video of my All Creatures Great and Small red box from Hands Across the Sea samplers. A little bit about this before we get into it. I have not opened it. I should say I have lifted this lid to look at the packaging inside, but I have not gone through to look at any of the contents. So I don't know what's in here apart from what Nicola Parkman of Hands Across the Sea samplers has already told us. I know that there are a lot of charts included. Of course, we should be able to expect that. And then there are several needlework accessories. There is some tissue paper in here, so you'll hear a bit of rustling. And then I am actually in my floss palace right now, and the cuckoo clock is going. So you may hear a bit of ticking, and you may actually hear the cuckoo go off in a bit. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this. We'll just see. I might buzz through it really quickly. I might have something to say about a particular item, whether I'm excited about it, whether I'm not excited about it, what fabric I might, already have in mind to put it on. Who knows what's going to happen. I have purchased previously 2 red boxes. This would be Nicola's 4th putting out. Now, her first box that she released years ago, I think it was early 2023. I could be mistaken on that. But it was the Letters from Europe box. It was a collection of red samplers, and every one of those red samplers represented a different country in Europe, hence the name. Now, at that time, I was not following Hands Across the Sea samplers. I had only just begun watching Flosstube. I was new to everything, and everything was really exciting. Every day I was learning something new, and I'm still learning new things, but I have a better handle on what is going on in the needlework world. So when Nicola released her second box, the Words of Wisdom box, I hopped on that. I ordered directly from the website. I didn't even have to wait and find it on a stash unloading site. I got it right from her. That, I really believe, is a wonderful box. I have stitched many things out of the Words of Wisdom box. It was a great collection. And then the box that was released after that, just last year, was the All Things Bright and Beautiful box. So far from that box, I have only stitched 3 things, but of the, I believe, 14 samplers, there were only 2, I think, that I wasn't really excited about. So I'd say that's still a really successful box in my opinion. Now, if you did not get this, and for whatever reason, maybe it just wasn't in your budget, maybe you didn't know about it right away, so now you're looking at the secondary market, I do think you may be able to find one eventually, or at least some of the individual charts that are contained within this box. And I believe that because there are always, I'm quite often seeing box contents come up for sale. And so if you like something in here, you didn't get the box, but you're excited about something that you see here in this video today, don't lose hope. You may have a friend who got the box and you can borrow a particular chart from them, or just keep an eye out on the various D-Stash groups on Facebook, and you can always check eBay as well. But that was a whole lot. So let's get into it. Let's open it all up. All Creatures Great and Small. It says A Treasury of Samplers, Volume 2, Hands Across the Sea samplers. A beautiful red box. Thankfully, mine was not damaged in shipping. The exterior box did have a little bit of water damage to it, but it has not affected the contents. You can see there's some moisture that got in there, but that's okay. So first thing I'm seeing is a sticker here with a bird on a branch with some flowers. And I don't necessarily care to keep the stickers, so I think I'm just going to rip it, and whatever happens, happens. Really just want to get into the contents here. Let's see. It is a pretty sticker, but okay. Now, the past 2 boxes that I have gotten, all of the samplers have been contained in individual envelopes, and I wonder if she's going to do that here as well. Oh my goodness, it's pink crinkle. Okay, open that up very nicely for us so we can dig in. So all of this, I actually save this stuff. I use it for packing gifts. So I'm gonna move it over here. Oh boy, I do see colored envelopes and I see a beautiful bag. Okay, I recognize this sampler here because it was actually on display, completely stitched and stretched over a board, not framed though, but it was on display at Sampler Symposium of this year, 2026. So I got to see this piece up close. Now, some of you may remember that on the Hands Across the Sea Samplers Instagram page, a little bit of this, actually it wasn't even on hers, it was on the page of one of her model stitchers. Anyway, she had shared, somebody shared a close-up of this border here on this sampler and had sprinkled some Skittles, the candy, along with it because these bright balls of color reminded the stitcher of Skittles. So I do recognize this. This says Anne Watson's work. Now, the reason that this was on display at Sampler Symposium was not because we got the sampler, it's because there are some motifs within this sampler that related to the piece that we did get, which was Margaret Fisher. And if you're interested in hearing more about that, you can check out my Sampler Symposium recap video. Now, I can feel at least one of the things in here, and let's see what is in here. I'm gonna pull out just one at a time. Okay, we've got what looks to be a panel. So, okay. So Nicola's been making a lot of printed fabric pieces to be used for EPP or bag making, pin cushions. Okay, what do we have? So presumably you would have your front and your back. So these, I would guess, are for pin cushions. And you know what? I do not sew, but I have a couple friends who do. So I think I'm going to send these on to a particularly good sewer friend of mine to have these made into pin cushions. These are very sweet though. I like this one, this Merrick's Best 6-cord thread. That's super cute. I like the pink anyway. Okay. All right, so we've got fabric panel there. What else is in here? Minnie McBean's. I kind of figured we'd get something from Minnie McBean's. Now, a butterfly makes sense because the theme of the box is all creatures great and small. Is that right? Yep, all creatures great and small. Thought that was right. I just, for some reason, thought perhaps I'd gotten it wrong. So, my thinking was that it would be a bunch of samplers that had, for some reason I was thinking dogs. I wasn't thinking any other animal. I was just thinking dogs. Let's see what else we've got. I'm sure there will be dogs, but there'll probably also be horses. That was another one I was going to say. Horses, cats, birds. So many birds. There will be birds. And maybe some bugs. Don't mind the crinkle. I'm going to try to resist editing this as much as possible. So I apologize for the crinkle of the plastics and tissue paper, but that is really cute. So I wonder if in here is the sampler that features this horse. We will find out. We will find out. Okay, what else do we have? We have another Minnie McBean's piece. Oh, with that same horse. And we have a horse here and a dog. And they're on bugs. So we've got butterfly, elephant, rabbit, dragonfly, a dog, and a horse. Oh, and there is even a bird up here. There's a hummingbird way up top. Very pretty. Sue really outdid herself. I think Sue makes all of these by hand. She puts all of the pieces together by hand. Okay, there's still more in this bag. This was the thing that I could feel. So, eyeglass case. I have two others of these that were included in other boxes. One of them is well loved, well used, a little bit stained. So maybe I could retire that one and use one of the newer ones. And I thought we would also get a microfiber cloth. We do have that. that sampler, it is very large and square like this. This fits perfectly on this microfiber cloth. Very cool. So yeah, I was looking at that sampler on display at Sampler Symposium because they had it alongside other examples that fit within the framework of the lectures, and then also the models of the pieces that we were getting kitted up there that weekend. But I was looking at this one and I was wondering when it was going to be released. And I didn't ask Nicola. I don't feel that I need to do that. She releases so many things so often. I never feel the need to ask, when are you going to release this? When are you going to release that? Because I know right around the corner she's got something else coming. So even today, as I am recording this, long before it will actually be put up on YouTube, she had another release today. So, okay, I was hoping that we would get another zippered pouch. So I am super happy about this. Happy with the other items that we got. The fabric panel, you know, is not the most exciting thing to me, but again, I'm not a sewer. So I will send those to a friend. If I get them back, that's great. If she keeps them for herself, I don't even really care. I'm happy to have the other accessories and, oh, the charts. Now I'm sitting on the floor in my Floss Palace. My legs are going a little numb, so I may have to take a break and pause every once in a while. But, okay, first envelope. I like that Nicola has moved to using a stapled binding for these smaller booklets. They used to be wire bound. Oh, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, there's no name. Oh, but it's so cute. The crazy letters make me think that it's Scottish. Do you see that? And this says all creatures great and small. That must just be the title that she gave it. So let's see. Unnamed needlework sampler achieves a delicate balance of artistry and tradition. Wow. And there was the cuckoo clock. So yeah, no information about the stitcher, unfortunately, but what a beautiful piece. So colorful. Let's take a look at the thread list. So let's see, 17 colors. And it is, what is the stitch count? I don't see a stitch count. There may be a stitch count on the inside. Sometimes they do that, yeah. So design area is 172 by 229. And so on 46 count linen, which is my favorite count to work on, it would end up being about 7.5 by 10. So a very nice size. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. We're going to move on to the next one. You can probably see there is a coupon. I hoped there would be coupons. Of course, I only used one from the last box, but that's okay. All right, let's see what's in the green envelope. Envelope number 2. Oh my goodness. Sarah Royal. May I always ready stand with my lamp burning in my hand. May I in sight of heaven rejoice when I hear the bridegroom's voice. Sarah Royal, her work, May 6th, 1828. So I wonder if we have information on Sarah because we have her name and date. Let's see. Oh, okay. We believe that Sarah was baptized on August 17th, 1817 in Eccles. Is that how you say that? Eccles, village west of Manchester in Lancashire. Okay, father was unknown. So, okay, so it does seem that the hats team has found this particular little girl. Look, we've got this bird. I have stitched this bird before in other samplers. This dog looks like the dog that is in Anne Campion. See how it's got the little tiny collar there? If you guys recall, Anne Campion was one of 2 samplers that was given to attendees of Sampler Symposium a couple years back. I did not attend that particular event, but I recognize that dog. It does look similar. And then we have a little man with a cane, a ship. This is an interesting collection of motifs. I've never seen anything quite like this. All right, Sarah. Oh, and then let's take a look at the back here. So it looks like 18 colors make this up. And again, the stitch count would be on the inside. So we've got 146 by 272. On 46 count, it's going to be about 6.5 by 12. Yeah. Okay, and then Hobby House Landing. So in this box, it seems, and in past boxes, there are included some vouchers, some coupons to use for shopping. So I'll put that to the side here. Envelope number 3. I think Nicola said that there are 14 samplers included in this. Now, we may not have 14 envelopes, although we might, but maybe there are some duos included, because in the last box, there was one duo. There was a Jessie Gay and a Jessie Anderson, a mother-daughter duo, and those samplers were included together in the same booklet. Let's see what we have here. Rebecca Austin. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the favorite so far. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. I think, I could be mistaken, but I think this is on the 2026 calendar. I could be wrong. Could be another similar looking sampler. Rebecca Austin. This to me looks Scottish. It has an alphabet. It has a large alphabet done in what appear to be eyelets. Let's see. No, those are not eyelets. They're just cross stitches, but they're arranged in the same way. We have crowns and we have peacocks. So I'm going to guess that this is a Scottish piece. I could be wrong. Let's see. Rebecca worked hers while attending St. Peter's School, Eaton Square, London. As the sampler includes the initials of her parents and siblings in the Scottish tradition, a touching sign of family affection, we believe that she worked the sampler under the guidance of her mother. So she may have been from a Scottish family. So I have looked at a lot of samplers. There are certain telltale signs on Scottish samplers. This is beautiful. Okay, let's take a look at the floss list. It looks like 13 colors. It doesn't look like a huge sampler. What do we have? Oh, if I can get this. Okay, so 212 by 186. Yeah, that's a nice size. On 46 count linen, it's going to be 9 1/4 by 8. I wonder what this was stitched on. Oh, Sleeping Bear by Needle and Flax, which is a nice neutral brown color. So I definitely have something similar, something that will work for that. And you know, with anything, you don't have to stitch. You don't have to stitch with the called for colors. You don't have to stitch on the called for linen. Choose a combination that works for you. I usually stick to the called for threads as much as possible. Sometimes I'll make a very close substitution if I don't have the exact called for color in my stash, but I am very often looking to change up the fabric and find something that I like, something that suits me. Okay, I only pulled it out this far. That was an accident. All I can see is this little bit of border, and I love it. I don't know what Elizabeth has done, but let's see the rest of it. This is Elizabeth Parks. Oh, okay. Elizabeth Park, you knocked it out of the park. I love this. I love this so much. There's our horse. There's a windmill, which is frequently seen on Dutch samplers. Here is a heart. It does look like cross stitch. It's made up of cross stitches, but it definitely would lend itself to eyelets. Let me see. Yeah, it's just done in cross stitches. This is so beautiful. Elizabeth Parks, 1857. It even has her year, 38. Okay, I need to stitch this soon. I'm 37 now. I will be 38 this October. I might aim, I don't know if I can wait to make this my birthday start. Maybe I will Yeah. Well, I could do this year. It's my 38th year. Anyway, that's so funny. It's funny that she did this so late in life compared to so many of these others that are being done by young girls, like prepubescent girls. I mean, I think Rosa Sugar's was done by a 4-year-old. Wow, this is beautiful. I love this. It's balanced, but it's not symmetrical. It has unique motifs. I have seen plenty of windmills on pieces. I've never seen one that looks quite like this. It's a different perspective. It's almost offset. Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, let's take a look at the floss list. So we've got 17 colors. 17 colors. I am going to guess this is a pretty small one. Yeah, look at this. Okay. Linen size is 249 by 161. Overcast by Cedar River Linen. I don't know that I have any more overcast, but I'll have something similar. So on 46 count, this will be about 11 by 7. I wonder if there are any specialty stitches. Let's see. Yeah, 17 colors. You'll only require 1 spool or skein of thread. Let's see. Samplers worked in cross stitch over 2 threads of linen, so suitable for all needle workers, and also good for linen or even weave or Aida. And if you are not familiar with Hat's charts, they do a great job of letting you know what types of stitches are included in each individual sampler. So if you are an Aida stitcher, or you might be a linen stitcher who just hates cross stitch over 1, or you're just not comfortable stitching eyelets, whatever, they let you know what is included and what is going to be required of you in stitching a particular piece. But it's nice to know that this one is cross stitches all over 2. I might stitch this on 56 count. And I say that actually because just today I got some happy mail from a friend. She sent me one of her whips. She was like, I'm stitching this on 56 and I'm never gonna finish it. Do you want it? And I said, yeah, I want it. And included as well was a piece of 56 count fabric that had not been touched. And it's a really nice, soft, light ivory color. And I think it might work very well for Elizabeth here. I want to see on 56 count. Let's see, she would be almost 9 by 5 3/4. Oh, that would be so petite. Okay, this is definitely my favorite so far. I've been going on about it long enough. I'm sure you can tell. Okay, so Hands Across the Sea Samplers gift voucher. So this allows for 20% off the Hands Across the Sea Samplers website, and it's good for booklets and PDFs. And it is good until the 31st of July. So I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of this. This is a great deal. 20% makes a big difference. All right, next envelope. I'd like to let you know that my legs and feet are completely numb. Completely. All right, what do we have next? Oh, okay, this is another one that we saw on display at Sampler Symposium. Yes, okay, so do you see this house and this bridge here include, let's see, here's a bridge, and then we've got houses. So that was part of Nicola's talk at Sampler Symposium. She was talking about how you could see communication between samplers, and so you could really appreciate how designs would travel between different stitchers, different schools, different areas, whatever. And it's why you can look at a Scottish sampler and go, yeah, that's Scottish, because there are certain elements that are within those particular, within samplers from a certain area, right? So she talked in depth about this combination of this house and bridge, and she even showed us an illustration of the area where this real bridge is. This was on display, and my favorite part of this piece was actually the border. I had never seen anything like it. Yeah, so Mary Borrowdale, 1826. Man having passed appointed years, hours are but days, the scene must close, and when fate's messenger appears, what is he but a withering rose? That is beautiful. Let's take a look at the color palette here. Hope you guys are seeing this all right. 5, 10, 14 colors. And it says mainly cross stitch over 2, only the verse and dedication are stitched cross stitch over 1. So if you are not keen on cross stitch over 1, you could always eliminate this. You could shorten it, change it to something that does work for you. But Mary's name down here, the dedication, is also in over 1 stitching. Let's take a look at the size. So 235 by 222. I will say all of these seem to be so far nice sizes, not too big and not particularly tiny. On 46 count, it'd be 10 1/4 by 9 3/4-ish. On 56, which I wouldn't recommend because of all the over 1, it would be 8 1/2 by 8. And it was stitched on Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit. A lot of us are familiar with that particular color, so I'm sure you can imagine it in your head. I'm sure even if you don't have Hog Bristle, you have something similar. I noticed down below there was a coupon there. I had to edit that out so that you guys couldn't see the coupon code. Okay. Oh my goodness. I have never seen anything like this. Wow. Boy, that is some wild colors. A wild color palette. Mollie Stone, 1918. Look at all those different animals. I wonder, do we know anything about Mollie? Oh, life and career of Mollie Kate Stone. We do. Well, that's interesting. Wow, we even have a photograph. Okay, I will have to read that. And we have other photographs. This is amazing. So sometimes, you know, you end up with a work done by a girl who has just a terribly generic name, and it's impossible to determine, you know, which Elizabeth Wood she is, right? But sometimes they do get lucky in the research, and they can not only find the particular girl and some information on her, but sometimes they find a lot of information, and then you have a great backstory. So this has 15 colors, and it says samplers worked in cross stitch over 2, so good for all types of fabrics. And let's see, it's 111 by 264. On 46 count, it would be about 5 by 11 1/2. That is a nice long sampler. This is an interesting proportion, an interesting shape. This reminds me of Harriet Goddard, which I finished just last year and was able to hang. I got it framed, Harriet Goddard, and I had it framed, and it is up in my living room in this weird little section of wall that is between 2 doors. So, okay, this one feels a bit heavier than the previous booklet, so I wonder if this is going to be bigger. Ooh, okay, I recognize this one. I am pretty sure that this one is in the 2026 calendar. I recognize this funky house. If it's not in the calendar, then I have seen this somewhere. I don't even know where. I think it's in the calendar. Yeah, because I also recognize this border with the fleur-de-lis. Yeah. All right, one moment, guys. I have to readjust. Okay, Winifred Sebright, 1828. This is cool. Do we have information? I think we do. She was baptized on the 6th of October, 1818. Yeah, this is beautiful. I think this one looks a little bigger. And as I said, the booklet feels a bit heavier. So let's see. Yeah, this is 235 by 306. On 46 count, it's going to be 10 1/4 by 13 1/4. 16 colors, worked in cross stitch over 2 threads, and includes some Algerian eyelets. Suitable for needle workers of all abilities, and can be worked on linen or Aida. And let me check the linen that was used. Oh, Scrimshaw by Cedar River Linen. I do have some of that. I love that color. This is beautiful. Big bright red house. Lots of birds. We've got squirrel, deer, little dog there. Colorful alphabet at the top. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right. We still have several to go. Oh my. Again, there was a coupon there. I had to edit that out. As I was saying, if anyone is in doubt of the value of these boxes, I don't think you should be. For one thing, once they're sold out, they're sold out. And if you find out later that you want it, any of the contents, you just kind of have to wait around. And it's not impossible to find them, as I discussed. But you do have to wait around and, you know, keep your eye out on the secondary market, destash sites, whatever. If you do buy it and you find that it's not for you, it's so easy to unload them. So I think if it's within your budget, whenever these types of things are put out, you should make a point to get it if you can. Oh, this is beautiful and small and delicate, where birds once sang. Look at chubby birds. This is a really pretty border. Okay, so not very big at all, only 11 colors, 167 by 125. On 46 count, it's gonna be 7 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I keep telling you the finished size for 46 count because, as I say, that's my preferred linen, and it's easy to do the math for 40. And if you stitch on something else, you obviously can do the math for yourself. But I like to look at the 46 count because that really gives me an idea of how big the finished product is going to be. Worked in cross stitch over 2 threads of linen, suitable for needle workers of all abilities. This is beautiful. So small, so delicate. All right, what do we have here? Wow, okay. So this to me looks French because of the big chickens. I don't know that it actually is, but the highly detailed chickens that we have here, those remind me of things, motifs that you would see on French samplers like Reflet de Soie and stuff like that, where you've just got like big, very almost just full, so full, like the samplers are so full, like giant borders and giant birds, and there's like a cow in a pasture, and yeah, that's what it reminds me of. This is Emily Clement, 1885. Okay, it says the name of the boarding school. I don't know how to pronounce that. Welsh-speaking hill village of Felindra in Glamorgan, spelled Velindra in English. Okay, linen sizes for Emily here. 279 by 271, so it's almost square, almost perfectly square. On 46 count, it's going to be 12 and a smidge by 11 3/4. This one I am not wild about. I think because it's too wild. It seems incongruous. There's a lot going on here. I'm not sure everything really goes together, but I tell you what, I'm going to stitch this guy. He's fun. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, 20 colors. Yeah, no doubt. Look at how busy it is. 20 colors. And let's see. I was looking for fabric information. What was it stitched on? Pyrite by Cedar Linen. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Well, that's fun and funky. I think, how deep are we into this? I should have been counting. So to just now have one that I'm not super crazy about, it's pretty good. Oh my God, okay. I love this. This works. The composition for me works. The color palette is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love it. Elizabeth Land, 1851. Looks like a nice little English sampler. Got some information here. Okay, stitch count is 145 by 156. Design will be about 6 1/4 by 6 3/4. Very nice little size. And color palette, 15 colors. Looks like a lot of greens and some warmer tones. Oranges, blushes, reds. But striking blue in the bird's wing there. And a little bunny, look at that. I didn't even notice the bunny at first. This bird here with this like curlicue vine, that does remind me of something I've seen on another sampler. And then of course we've all seen things like this, like a bird on a branch with the leaves going over it. So yeah. July 15th, 1851. That's beautiful. Okay. Oh, very dark envelope. Oh, here is a coupon. I don't have to edit out. When they have the code facing up, I have to edit that out, so you guys don't get that. Okay, next envelope. Oh, for some reason this was tough to open. Okay. What? Oh, this is funny. Okay, let's take a look. V.M. Baker, Fair Play, it's a jewel. 65 stitches by 113 stitches. Oh my gosh, I should stitch this on 56 count, so it'll be ridiculously small. It would only be like 2.3 by 4 on 56 count. Oh, that's so funny. It's so little. Yeah, this is a day project. This is cute though. I mean, stitch it up and have it made. You could finish it into an ornament. You can finish it into a little pillow. I saw Jules Darling, she finished, and the deer remind me of this. So she finished, I think it was a la-di-da piece that was a long rectangular piece, similar in proportion to this. And she had seen someone finished into a little treat bag, and she did the same, and I thought that was really cute. So if you guys, I mean, if you've got enough ornaments, or you want something a little bit different than your standard pillow, then you could always do something like that. This is really cute though, and takes one color. So, you know, pick your favorite red, stitch it in a green, stitch it in black, whatever you like. All right, next envelope. My legs are not doing well. This one feels heavier again, so I think this is going to be a bigger one. Whoa, yep, here's a Bristol Orphanage sampler. It says Alice, Lily, and Florence. So Florence's name is down here on the bottom, just above the year, so I suspect it was Florence who stitched this, but maybe Alice and Lily were her best friends. I don't know what these initials refer to, but this is beautiful. And you know what? I was thinking that I was in the mood to start another Bristol sampler. I have one going. I started Mary Hillier, but and that one, it's big, so I really just need to treat it like a thread a day project and get it done eventually. But I don't know, I just had it in my head that I wanted to start another Bristol sampler. Like, that makes sense, whatever. Okay, let's take a look at the size here. The stitch area, this is 269 by 359. So kind of a large piece. On 46 count linen, it would finish up to 11 3/4 by about 15 1/2. And it was stitched on Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. So you can definitely see that in the photo here. I'd say that Dirty Teacup, for whatever reason, it does photograph well. Some of these other fabrics, it's like you have to almost choose between getting the color of the floss to show correctly or getting the color of the fabric to show correctly. And yeah. Okay. And then I've got another voucher here. This is for, I don't know what this is for. I'll have to look into that. Okay. Next envelope. Okay, it looks to be French. Odile Franpcois, 1887. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Odile Franpcois, âgée de 13. Is that it? God, I'm terrible with numbers. It's always 13. And it says Reims, 1887. I don't know why I'm bothering to say all that in French. Okay, so Reims, 1887. Let's see. So we should know more about her. Odile Franpcois came into the world in Anne-Saint-Pierre, modest Belgian village. Oh, she's Belgian. Okay. In Reims. All right, we'll have to read about her. This is beautiful. I love the proportions of it, that horizontal look. So Nicola did say that we were going to get portrait and landscape here. This has birds, beautiful flowers, and a nice two alphabets. And 4 different borders along the outside, as well as different bands within it. Let's take a look at the thread list. 10 colors, mostly hot colors. I like that. But yeah, 269 by 156, so not terribly large. Okay, Odile. I like that. I really like that. Boy, it's already been another half hour. Almost done though. Wow. The Garden of Eden. And must this body die, this mortal frame decay, and must these active limbs of mine lie moldering in the clay? The Garden of Eden. We have what appears to be a deer. We have some small animals down here, birds, and lots of flowers. I like the berry border within the outer border. And the outer border, what is going on there? Okay, I've never seen anything quite like that. That's interesting. And we don't have a name on it. I wonder if there's information about the stitcher. Probably not. No, that's unfortunate. I don't even know if we have we don't even have a year. I mean, you can guess the time frame, but you're not going to know exactly. 15 colors. And it is 267 by 252. On 46 count, it would be about 11.5 by 11. Stitched on Cactus Wren by Fox and Rabbit. That is a dark linen. That is dark, but you know what? These colors would really pop well. Yeah. They would pop very well on that darker linen. So I can see why that was chosen. Especially this, that berry bowl, berry basket. Would pop very nicely. Okay. This little bird here. I think that's my favorite thing on the whole piece. I want to see him. Where is he? Oh yeah, he's cute. So cute. Okay, are we on the last one? We're on the last one, and it's a black envelope. Doesn't weigh much. Might just be a folded card. Let's see. Are we saving the best for last? Are we saving the tiniest for last? Oh, it is just a card. Okay, so that was the end. See, this is what I get for not counting. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. So I think this is a card from... Yep, this is a card from Nicola. Within it is a printed message, and it explains kind of the theme of the box. Oh, but this is nice. So this is a list of everything that we received within the box. We've got the list of all our sampler booklets, as well as the included goodies, the needlework accessories. Well, that is awesome. Okay, I am absolutely chuffed with this box. Very thankful I was able to get it. Very thankful to Nicola and the entire Hats team for putting all this together. I know that these samplers are often years in the making, you know, between charting and stitching and then framing, photographing, you know, putting the booklets together, writing the stories and everything. This is an amazing amount of work that goes into putting together something like this. So I'm very thankful. Thankful to the Hats team. Thankful to all of you guys who watched this and unboxed it with me. I hope that if you were able to get this box that you're just as pleased as I am with the contents. I think this is really fun collection and I'm excited to start kitting things up. I might be doing that tonight. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna pull a couple of my favorites and see what I've got. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy stitching.